Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Throwing on 3rd and long. Daniels. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 21 yards there on 3rd down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd. Down, very proficient, and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now Rashad Penny. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. From the gun, Daniels. Washington's got it. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
It's a gain of 8. And it brings up 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go. Right there. 54, right there. 54 Mike. Let's get it.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. And it's caught by Herndon. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They go back to the ground now with Penny, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Shoves him away, powers through. A solid move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line, down at the 2. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. They'll come out in the pistol. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
3 buds.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. This is Penny. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Gay's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Looking to throw on second down. Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Buddy up. Mike's by 4. Here we go, D. Check.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
54. I'm going to come back to you.
To throw on second down, Daniels. That is caught by Cohen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Penny. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They run it again with Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be third down.
Let's go now. 8, read.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. And we got
They'll drop the throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. They'll find him. Find him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Taking it about the 16. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run with Penny. And he's got some space here. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Penny. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken the lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Got it. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Go, D. Let's go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that's caught by Smith. Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Daniels. That's caught by Montgomery. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Looking to throw. Daniels. And able to connect with Berrios. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, You must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. On 1st and 10, Daniels. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Penny, a 1st down carry. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Check three.
Back to throw. Daniels. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to snap the ball away.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, it's Cook. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
60 outlaw, Leo.
Slam. He's checking.
X3, 218, chopper. You're out. Let go.
Again, it's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not because this...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54 of an army. Drop deep, drop deep.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Get that quarterback, D-Lo. Quarterback, D-Lo.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Yes, it was a touchdown. And not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take the knee and let the clock run out.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. The run got 4, now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Look, squeeze. Go. Undercrush. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
First down. Here's the run with Cook. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. They've had some success here in overtime with this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
Now Cook running right. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Going deep for got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime, as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime, as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Leo!
They try again with Cook. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and a game winner